First, we load everything up, then I will share it. We're shorting the market. We're going to be trading aggressively. Yes, as you can see the title, it's treatment day for me. No, I'm kind of being a douche with that title, but you know what? Honestly, I'll be up front. Probably repeat this a couple times today. If a dude on Chemo can trade, what's your excuse? And I don't mean that from a... I'm just saying if you're able-bodied, got all your faculties with you, what excuse do you have for not being an awesome trader? Probably most an arrogant thing to say. Probably a douchey thing to say. All right. Started on trading views. Come on, man. Suck at MCs, they call me sire. All right, we're shorting the market, getting aggressively. We'll get long here in the afternoon. I'm wondering whether or not the CL swing trade is going to work in my favor. We'll see how that plays out. The string. Bam. I'll share this on the Discords, the Telegrams, and the Twitters. Can everybody hear me? That's the question. Hello? Can everybody hear me? Yep, sweet. We've confirmed that the audio is working. Well, I've confirmed it anyways. Suck at MCs, they call me sire. I don't know where I get that. Come on, dude. What the hell? Oh, 810. Telegrams or I don't know, kind of excited to stream today, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. Market's going against me. I'm already up bigly today, or relatively bigly, guess you could say. Hey, avoid vanity. Good to see you here. Ah, look at that. The market's going to try to take me out. That little sucker. Look at you, sucker. Why does that's weird that the actual app for the actual app, what am I saying? The actual oh, I gotta share on Telegram. Share for the peeps on Telegram. All right, so what are we looking for the rest of the day? Well, first up, CL, we're looking to hold that level. It's getting close. I probably should then, we're only in 6 lots there, so I should probably just put a protective stop in here. If it takes me out, then we know the next level. I think we reverse that.
Order filled.
All right, that was a simple decision there. Let's see if it plays out in our favor. Next level we're looking at here is right here is our next buy level for CL. You can hear me slurring my words a little bit. Sometimes this treatment, it like affects me a little bit. But I'm a trader, so we're going to trade. Not going to let the Chemo slow us down. Sticking with this trade, I should have not faded there. As a terrible fade. Terrible fade, man. Terrible fade. So, how's everybody trading? I've been pretty active here in Discord. That's what I was looking for. Call the bluff on any push up here. We are hitting the pivot 1 of the afternoon. First up, if you're just joining me for the first time, what you want to do is you want to follow Discord. You'll see a link below that says join Discord on TradingView and on the YouTubes. And welcome, Avoid Vanity. Oh, trading. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. The system was awesome. I have to say, today is a prime day where if you were trading with the Rexdog system, you had tremendous edge. You had more edge than you probably knew what to do with today. And I am fading this a little bit early. Once again, fading is an advanced trading. Might have to take a loss on this trade if it continues up. That might have been the pullback it wanted to do on the 60 there. So for those that are just new here, what you're seeing traded before you is a predictive trade system. It predicts on the chart where reaction areas are, and we trade around reaction areas. Highly effective trade system, developed, been trading it since 2018 or on. Yeah, been a profitable trader since third quarter 2017. Sorry, you might hear me make weird noises because I'm, once again, as you can see from the title, if a dude on Chemo can trade, what's your excuse? I mean that. Like, seriously, if you got all your faculties with you, the only excuse you have is that you emotionally can't control yourself to trade. That's the only excuse, man. I don't mean to sound like an arrogant little bitch today, but I've got to motivate myself to get through this friggin' chemo treatment so that I don't, I do slow down. Yeah, I became profitable before the system was set up, John McKenzie. Yes.
Order filled.
Yes. But it wasn't sustainable. I felt like I had fought a battle every single day. Where nowadays, I mean, you see how I trade. It doesn't feel like I fought a battle every single day. I do, but meaning I do fight a battle every single day, but it's not. I don't feel like it wasn't sustainable is what is the key. If you can trade successfully but it's not sustainable, meaning that it takes everything out of you, then you don't have a good trade system. I was just aggressively scalping and just, but I had, those early days of profitability led me to realize the system that everybody here has, at least for the next month or so. We might go away here in the next month. So if you want to become an alpha, I would highly suggest that you become an alpha, because I might decide here after I come back that we are going to go stealth. So there we are. We're on the right side of that trade right now. Let's see how well this holds up. We are targeting this area for profit right here. Down there is our profit zone, first profit zone. Our second profit zone would be down here. Would be, you so sassy. Would be, oh, these charts, I'm not looking at them. I'm on the other chart, that's why. Oh, it didn't roll this forward. What the hell, man? How can you not roll it forward? You roll you forward. Bam. Here's our next profit zone. That's our next profit zone. It really should be here, though. If we're using chart 4 control would be here. That'd be our next profit zone. But you have a profits. Here's your 3 profit zones on the downside of that. This trade continues to work out in our favor. Just using the system, man. Just using the system. Just trading the system. Although this is a fade. It is an aggressive, not really aggressive fade. Ah, look at CL. It's operating against me. A little bastard. I'm going to still short you, man. I'll tell you what I made so far. I think we're up to 2,800. 28,000, I mean. Sorry, 2,800. Let me see. Oh, I feel like crap. I feel like absolute shit.
Order filled.
One of these has got to give. CL or NQ's got to give. I mean, they don't have to. Hey, what's up, George Britton? How you? Good to see you here. Yeah, I'll feel better once I get off chemo on Wednesday. I go home with what's called a pump. And then that pump stays on me till Wednesday, and it just kind of slow drips me full of treatment. I like to call it treatment instead of, you know, got to think positive, right? Can't think negative. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Avoid vanity. These numbers are insane. Not really. I mean, yeah, I guess they are insane, but I mean, you kind of get used to them after a while. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 32,000. I apologize. I apologize. I was off. It's 32,000. Damn it. What the hell is wrong with my cursor today? Or is it me? It's probably me. Bam! There we are, man. That's today so far. 32 G's. Not bad for a dude on chemo. Yeah, yes, avoid vanity. I want CL to do the opposite of what NQ is doing. But as you can see, I'm short on both. But that's because CL has probably the downside level around 66.90 to hit. So 66.90 on CL. Next buy zone if this fails. And then you can see I'm short on NQ. So see minor pullbacks on both. And then I think we're going to look for long in the afternoon on the NQ. What is the news for tomorrow? Let's check the news for tomorrow, man. What's up, Rex? What's up, buddy? This is going to sound so romantic. Rex and I went and watched the sunset yesterday. That's what we did. My significant other was visiting her parents or her mom. I was home and I was bored as hell. I mean, I was working on training and doing stuff, updating the site, working on things that all y'all will appreciate, I think. And then I looked at Rex. I said, you know what?
Stop field.
Sun's about to set in about an hour and a half. You want to go to this overlook and watch the sunset? And Rex tilted his head and gave me the nod.
Stop field.
I'm like, all right, man. Brills before hoes. So me and Rex went and got some Cane's.
Stop field.
Because Chick-fil-A, well, you know what? I like Cane's better than Chick-fil-A. So we went and got Cane's. We went to this local park. We ate Cane's. We ran into another Maltese. Rex really, hey, what's up, X Skills? Good to have you here, man. Ran into another Maltese. We're going to short the heck out of this here. I'm going to short it again. We're going to short you again, man. If you knock us out, I'm going to short you again. Anyways, ran into another Maltese that was 3 years old. Rex is about 13 or so. Rex does not like other dogs. He does not, and he doesn't even really like other people. He doesn't like other dogs. Like, he's indifferent to other dogs. I guess it's story time because I mean, I'm waiting for trades to unfold. This CL trade, I might be wrong here, but I would, you know, it would be weird for it to stop right here. Although this would be a good 60-minute level pattern if you're looking at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little aggressive on the short here. We're going to short CL here, and we're going to short CL here. And then we're either going to cut it real quick if it doesn't work out in our favor. I'm not in any NQ trades anymore, so we re-entered. All right, so this is where you think about probabilities. Probability, what is the market going to do before the next hour close? 36 minutes. What is it going to do? Remember, you want to be thinking in probabilities, and you want to project. What are you projecting? You are projecting reactions. You're projecting where are the next reaction zones. And then you're asking yourself the 3 questions and then the 2 pattern questions. The 3 questions are, for those that want to take some notes here, where is price coming from? Where does it want to go? How does it want to get there? You should be consistently asking yourself that question. Where is price coming from? Where does it want to go? How does it want to get there? Now, there's patterns, okay? Patterns unfold on every chart. Patterns cascade across the 4 chart. In the 4 chart setup or any trade system, I don't care if you're trading this system or not, you're trading the Rex Dog system, which is, in my mind, one of the best speculation systems ever created in humankind. But let's say you're trading any other system and you're trading patterns. There's really 2 questions that you should be consistently asking yourself. When you're looking at a pattern to unfold, or you're projecting for a pattern to unfold, you should be asking yourself 2 distinct questions. What should happen and what shouldn't happen? Those 3 questions combined with the 2 pattern questions is really what you should be consistently asking yourself when you're trading. And I don't care what level of trading you're doing, long-term, swing trading, day trading, scalping, it doesn't matter. You should be asking yourself those 3 questions. If you don't have those 3 questions foremost in your mind, then you're going to get tunnel vision. And then you should use your charts. You should use your indicators to then inform those 3 questions, because those 3 questions aren't in a vacuum. Now, there's another thing that I've just recently created, or not created, but shared. This is something that we're going to be doing training on because, I don't just half-ass do things. So I'm going to share this here. This is something that everybody would want to sign up for. Here we go. Sorry, I wasn't showing my trades. So here, this is what is called, okay, why is it not? This is what you're seeing here. Now, the system that you see, and I will get back to our romantic time with Rex. So what you see here is, now look, the system that you see me trade, the system that you have an opportunity to purchase at least for another month before maybe we go stealth, is called the Rex Dog trade system. Been trading it since 2018. It's a predictive trade system. It predicts on the chart where you should trade in reaction areas. Now, this is a derivative of our charts, and this is through my years and extensive back testing, looking at charts, trading charts, and just watching the markets. This is primarily focused on the futures and Forex markets, and obviously, actually all markets, but some markets don't trade 24 hours a day. Like the equity market, yes, you can after-hour trade, but the liquidity is garbage. So what you see here before you is what we would call, what I'm calling the time pivots for reactions and trading. So not only do we use our charts to then predict reactions, and we have chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, and chart 4, combination of time and tick charts. Not only do we use those charts to trade around, but you can then overlay on top of that something like this, which is the psychology of how pivots happen around time, specifically time in the market. For those that are wondering, or those that care, I'm sure some people care, some people don't. So, I talk about 2 things a lot. I talk about time, and I talk about if you want a superpower in trading, what you do is you take time out as a factor. But also, you need to understand that our world, our universe, and I'm going to get a little deep here, our universe is dictated by time. Time is woven into the fabric of what we live within. Everything since the Big Bang has been regulated in some form or fashion by time. It's a factor, at least within what we can see and how we perceive the universe. That's one of the reasons why if you go to, let me take this off. If we go to the site, one of the things that I've dedicated not only a lot of time is we have, let me make sure that this is being shown. We have a whole section of training specifically on time. How to think in time, time and ranges, and time and momentum. These are really important trainings. If you're an alpha and you haven't watched these trainings and you want to understand how to further stay out of tunnel vision and utilize time to maximum effect within your trading, these 4 videos, I put a lot of effort and time and focus in creating to ensure that they give you a tremendous edge when using time in your trading. All right, let's go back to trading. So we are short the NQ. We are short CL down to this next level down here, which is what we're looking for. We'll look for maybe an overshoot of that level. Should put trailing stops into the CL. So I'm going to remove the actual positions there. And then we're going to look and say, okay, here's where we want to be a buyer. We're going to put some trailing stops in here. Hopefully we don't get knocked out on volatility. We're about to hit, so we got the half-hour close. We do expect some increased volatility. Look, if you're brand new, you just joined us, you want to, there's a link below. It says join my Discord. You'll find it in wherever else you're watching this as well. You want to join Discord. It's one of the things you'll definitely want to do. If you are ready to get started on the Rex Dog trade system, what you want to do is either visit the site, click the link that says get started now, or send me a DM. See, if people want me to be on Discord, audio-wise, you need to ask me to be on Discord audio-wise when I'm streaming. All right. Look at that. The NQ's punishing us for fading. Right, look at that momentum check. It held up. All right, so yeah, yesterday anyways, I mean, that's all we did. I just picked up Rex. We went to the park. And then we went to this overlook that kind of overlooks the city. And all the Instagrammers were there. All the people, all the dudes that have to take pictures for their chicks were there. You know, the chicks that wanted pictures. It was actually a pretty sweet sunset. It had clouds. So it was just, you know, there's a series of clouds. I guess I don't want to send it. Series of clouds. Rex just kind of sat there on the ledge just chilling. Might impulse up. We might get an impulse up. So anybody that's seeing this image here, what do you guys think? So the way you use this is that, look, it doesn't happen every single day. But these specific pivot times and these specific pivot controls should be...
Order filled.
This is going to hurt. There we go. So we'll see. I like where our basis is at. We'll just see whether or not this trade works out in our favor or not. Sorry for the annoying noise sound or nose sound. Anybody here today? Aggressively fading the market, man. Aggressively fading the market. Have an unused prime benefit. Is there a music AI tool? What I mean by that, is there a tool out there that, you know how you, thanks Genzo Trading. Thank you. Is there a tool out there? So you know how there's Apple Music, there's iTunes, there's Spotify, there's all this other crap, right? What I think would be probably, if it doesn't exist, which would be kind of cool to create, is a tool that you could connect to. and basically would guarantee that any playlist that you created on any service was backed up and maintained. That way, if you chose to go to Spotify, to Apple Music, for instance, you could easily do that. If you chose to go to Spotify to, was it Jay-Z or Dre? One of those dudes owned a music service, whatever the music service. But it would be cool if there was a service, this one service that you could pay it could be relatively cheap. You could charge literally like $19 a year. So it's volume. It has nothing to do with, you could then add additional professional features that would do some cool shit. But I was thinking this today. I just had an idea, which is like, okay, if there is a service that for $19 a year, basically any service that you were signed up for, musically wise, and you spent time creating your playlist and everything else, that it would automatically back up your playlist, and then you could import and export your playlist to wherever you wanted. That way you could switch services. And, since CDs are kind of obviously out of vogue, no longer used, that is a kind of thing that would be an interesting, useful product. It probably already exists. Usually when I come up with an idea like this, it probably already exists. Oh, yeah, the same for movies. Yeah, it would be kind of cool if you had your own IMDb, meaning that you had there's a app called Just Watch. That's a pretty badass app. What I like about it is that you can connect you can tell all the services that you subscribe to. And then when you want to watch a movie, you can say, okay, I want to watch Scarface, for instance. And it will tell you where you can watch it for free or where you can rent it. And if you're an old stalwart of the internet, you will be able to find places that you can find it if it's not available anywhere. That's as far as I'm going to go about. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. Oh, look at that spike. Damn, that's going to hurt, man. So let's not get too aggressive here. Let's stay here. We like our basis. We might get knocked out on CL. Yeah, Arter, that would be cool too.
Stop filled.
You would think that's something maybe Plex would create. Plex would create something like that, where basically Plex would be your IMDb of your media. Can you create Plex apps? Yeah. Can you create Plex extensions? Let me see. Plex extension. Oh, they do have plugins. Okay. Shit. I can maybe I do a MVP of what I'm thinking of, and we create a media. I create an IMD media for Plex. So Plex is your base. Sucks that you're building on a third-party platform, but you could start there, and then if you get traction, then you can move to your own platform. So Plex could be your base, and then basically what you do is you create a IMDb or a DB, a database for your media, your movies that you've watched, as well as your audio. Anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. I'll look at that. I'll MVP it out, and then I'll see if I can talk to a developer that knows Plex. Maybe I'll create it. Put that on the bucket list of crap to do. Oh, we got a margin update. Oh, I didn't look at the news. Well, I mean, I was going to look at the news. We have CPI tomorrow. That's what everything's getting ready for. Okay. The market is setting itself up for the CPI print tomorrow. That's what it's doing. All right. now that we know that, we can trade accordingly. Oh, I feel like crap to remind myself. Yay. Who's Colonel Steve Austin? Isn't that is that a wrestler?
Steve Austin?
Yeah. Well, I know he's in the audio. First time I've seen the name. Not welcome, Colonel Steve Austin. Yes, Colonel Sir.
Yeah, he is. Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's his name.
Yeah, but is he Colonel? Is he a military dude?
No, it's the WWE dude.
Oh.
But I think he used to be a Ranger.
I still can't call it WWE because, I mean, you know, growing up it was WWF for me, but then they got sued by this, I don't know if you know this. So WWF, they were called WWF all growing up, World Wrestling Federation. And then they got sued by this asinine environmentalist organization, WWF. And they lost the suit, or they settled. And then they changed it to World WWE.
Dang, what the heck? I remember watching, there's WWE and then there's Raw.
Yeah, well, Raw, well, I don't know anything about wrestling. I never got into it. But I do know a few people that are really into it. So I know more, it's like K-pop. I know too much about K-pop for being a 50-year-old dude than I should.
I feel it.
I mean, you're a young buck. You can know about K-pop, you know. So you can slide in.
I'm okay.
So you can slide into the chicks. But yeah, I shouldn't be streaming when I'm on chemo because I get pumped full of roids. And I have a tendency to be inappropriate more than usual.
It happens.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the path page? You think that's good?
Yeah. Did you look at second? So are we using both those emoji charts or just one?
Well, they're the same. That's so emojis. So the best, just I'll give you a little knowledge, as that dude used to say. So there's this thing called Unicode, okay, and Unicode is like the universal. Well, it tries to be the universal standard that all applications and browsers should use. And then you have derivatives where Facebook will have its own kind of emoji or something like that. So Unicode is pretty much supported across all apps. And then every app has like its sub, because they want, like, for instance, Discord, you know, allows you to create your own emojis. Well, if you create an emoji, not everybody can use it across the world, just on Discord, because they have within their platform, they built that infrastructure. But Unicode is pretty much any app that allows you to do a emoji should allow a Unicode emoji. But you can see those emojis are pretty limited. I mean, there's still a couple hundred of them, I think.
Yeah, still quite a bit though.
Yeah, and then the next thing we're working on, everybody, so you know, is we're working on a searchable FAQ. And what that is basically it's going to take questions that we get and concepts from the Rexdog trade system and put it into kind of a searchable database. So, for instance, a good example of what I envision how this will be is what is momentum? Well, you go there and it will explain momentum with visuals and then point to the specific areas of the training where momentum is explained. But then what we're doing is we're taking individual questions and we're answering them as succinctly as possible, as clearly as possible. And these are just not questions like what is momentum? It's like, what is bias? What is crack rock? Hold on. Let me give you an example of some of our initial questions, our ideation questions here. You know, Young Gravy is kind of like the Fast and Furious version of rap. I mean, he's just got jams, but he just has fun with it. Okay, so here's what we have on our FAQ page that we're one trade versus 100 philosophy. What is a reaction? Trend lines, philosophy. Value channels. Intention. If it prints, it will trade. How to set up the 4-chart setup. How to find tick charts on TradingView. How to find Rex Dog indicators on TradingView. What is the 4-chart setup? 2 types of trades. What is bias? What is momentum? You kind of get the general feel. We're just going to take every question we get. Every question we get more than once, right? Because obviously, you know, every now and then we get some odd questions like, who is hotter, your nephew or you? And that's a hard question to answer. He's younger. But who was hotter when they were younger? That's the question. I think you're probably, you got it rolled up there. I was losing my hair rather early.
Same.
You're losing your hair?
I'm getting there, dude. My hair falls out all the time.
You don't have the widow's peak, though. Or do you?
I do, but I mean, I have long hair, so I'm just... This is my company gunny told me this, actually. My company gunny and my company commander told me this. Funny story. We were in the field, and I took off my boonie at the time to show... Or it was hot outside, so we took off my boonie. And both my company commander and my company gunny come up to me and start flaming me for losing my hair. Just absolutely destroying my soul. And then it comes to my gunny, he's bald and both my captain are bald.
Yeah.
And they come up to me and they're flaming me, whatever. And then he goes, listen, brother, I'm gonna be serious with you for a second. I've been where you are. And I was like, oh, he's talking to me like as a Marine now. He's like, I've been where you are, I understand what you're going through. What you need to do is just, if you you cut your hair again, it's not gonna grow back, buddy. So you either let it grow all the way or go bald. But I was like, Gunny, I can't grow it out. I'm in the military. He's like, well, guess you gotta go bald with us. And like 2 weeks later, I went bald. Had to redo all my hair again.
That's just funny.
And it came back even thinner.
Sometimes a gunny knows.
Yeah, so that's a good idea. But ever since then, I've just grown my hair out. I'm afraid to cut it because of what they told me.
Yeah, well, it's probably good. Because
Yeah.
I mean, since I've been 24, I pretty much shaved it every other week or so.
I probably will. Once I get a longer beard, I'll just shave it and go full Ragnar.
Oh, yeah. That's a good look, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with in air quotes, assault rifle.
Yeah, assault rifle, pistol, bunch of knives. Then people don't think you're crazy. Just a long ass beard.
We should do an EDC video on our channel. I just see every gun channel do an EDC video, you know? It's just, I guess it's just, or every gear and gun channel. All right, I might be dinging in my P&L here with this trade here. I'm getting a little aggressive on the fades. We are in profit on the CL trade, obviously. We're looking for, I mean, our buy zone is not looking as strong as I thought it was, so we're going to look below that low. That's where we're going to be, man. I hope my thumbnail and my title isn't too douchey. I don't try to lean into my whole friggin' cancer treatment, but I think I you know, it's just, I realize I've been, yeah, no, I talked to my doctor today, and we did go back and see how many cycles, and he said, yeah, I mean, you know, there is such thing as kind of exhaustion with this stuff, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Order filled.
And he said one of his other patients said, or she said, one of her other patients said, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Order filled.
You know, I'm not really, I mean, you saw when I was here. I mean, I'm not always tired, right? You know,
Yeah,
but
no.
but it does take some out of me. I do have to slow down, and I'm not used to slowing down. Staples used to have a saying that was easy. I had to buy the button. Oh yeah. Yeah, remember that. I'm surprised that Staples and Office Max and Office Depot are still around. You go in there, they look like ghost towns. They're terrible. Best Buy's doing a pretty good job of pivoting. Do you have a Best Buy in your area?
Yeah, we do.
You don't have Micro Center though, right?
No.
Yeah, that's like me and my daughter went there the other day. I mean, I asked her. I said, "Hey, I'm going to go to my heaven, one of my heavens." She's like, "Well, where's that?" I'm like, "You've been there before." She's like, "Well, I don't know. What is it? I'm not really hungry." I'm like, "No, this is computer heaven." And I said, "But if you go, you just got to be prepared to not be bored because we're going to be there for 2 hours, okay? I'm going to go down every aisle, and I'm going to buy crap that I don't need, and I'm gonna overspend on electronics."
It's exactly what they do. We just do it for other things.
Yeah, exactly. She goes into Ulta or wherever the hell she goes, or you know what I mean? So,
100%.
yeah.
Sephora and shit.
That's where, I think we talked about this one night. I mean, we had a lot of, but dudes don't get compliments. That's where I made this dude's day by complimenting his hair. The cashier, I was like, "Dude, your hair looks amazing." He's like, "Wow, thank you, man. Like, I'm in a band. I just got it done yesterday. We have a concert tonight, and I was hoping it would hold up." I made his day.
That's awesome.
And Bella,
It takes a.
go ahead.
It's just, yeah, just because we have to. It's so hard as another man.
Well, yeah, you don't get compliments that often, and then like we were talking about, I think before, which is, this trade is gonna hurt me, man. I'm gonna stick with it a little bit more. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I don't know if I want to trade myself out of it though. I got too aggressive on the fade. Yeah, and that's what I told her there too. I said, "Look, a dude giving another dude a genuine comment or a compliment, is well appreciated as long as you know that you're not effing with the dude, right?"
Oh yeah.
I made a big mistake on this trade. Okay. No idea what that is. Let me get armed. Oh, the alert did go off. I just didn't see it because I'm an idiot.
You have a good weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was relaxing. We're traveling this Friday, so... this trade, sorry. I'm going to have to go heavy here to get out of this. Oh, man. I screwed this trade up. I should have not faded that early. This is where I should start fading, right here. This is where to fade. Yeah, it was good. I mean, just relaxing. Barbecue. Hang out with Rex. Hang out with the significant other,
That's good.
How about you?
Had dinner with my girl's parents. Hung out over there for a while. And just worked out. That was pretty much it.
I'm almost ready to go hard on this. I'm going to get out of my CL
Order
trade.
filled.
It's starting to stall. We're going to add
Order rejected.
that one right there. What the heck? Oh, that's what I need to be on that.
Order filled.
There we go. Yeah, it was all C4, you're right. I got too aggressive on my fade trade here. Didn't think it was going to reach that high. But you know what? I might double this trade here. We'll see. I've seen that. That's friggin' funny. Jim Jeffries is friggin' hilarious. So alphas, if you are, we haven't mentioned this since we created it. We have a channel called the Warrior Channel. What that channel is we pretty much just discuss complete off-topic things. If you're a type of person that just wants to just have fun and laugh at the world and just, point to the absurdity that we see on a daily basis, you can ask to join the Warrior. But we just ask nothing that's shared in the Warrior. And what happens in the Warrior, don't talk about Warrior. The second rule of Warrior Club is don't talk about the Warrior Club. It's just a place for us to kind of collectively have fun and just, we're not that active in there because obviously we're focused on trading, but the stuff that's shared on there is definitely makes it feel like we're at least more part of sanity than we are. You can't reply? What do you mean? Oh. Yeah. So the other thing we're working on, this trade is gonna be the bane of me here. It's gonna destroy my P&L here today. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm just waiting for the right moment to strike with doubling the position. So that's all I'm waiting for, because that's the only way I'm going to trade myself out of this. I mean, I'll still end the day up 12 grand, but that's terrible. This is a terrible trade. The problem is I want to stay in this trade, but it might range out the rest of the day, so I need to be very careful here. Just got aggressively on a trade. Son of a... That's why you don't trade the market on a heavy momentum day. Thoughts on gold? Let's look at GC. Let's look at GC.
Are the off-topic category permissions changed?
Yeah, I changed those. I changed everything in off-topic. I changed. That's what I use for testing the changes that we're gonna make. GC looks like it's gonna at least come up and wanna test probably the 1980 range. So it's really key. I mean, it's pretty obvious. 1964 and then 1968 are your buy zones, and then it looks like it wants to test up to 1986. So that's what I would say on GC. Yeah. Let me go through that again. Or 1964. Upside zone. And then buy zones RC4. I should just reverse this trade. Well, let's give it a little bit of time here. It's either going to rip up from here or it's going to roll over, because we're in the 6 minutes hour changeover zone. Got too aggressive with that trade. Yes, where will it close? Let's look at it. Bam.
Oh, also,
What?
have you seen the thing on Peacock based on a true story?
You mean the Peacock Network?
Yeah. There's like a new. If you've ever seen Murders in the Building on Hulu.
Yeah, I watched that. I just stopped it.
Well, there's one kind of like that on Peacock. It's like they interview like a live serial killer.
Oh,
It's like a
interesting.
show. It's pretty good though so far.
Order filled.
I
Order
don't know if anyone else has
filled.
seen it, but I recommend it. It's actually pretty good. I'm almost done with finishing Game of Thrones. I'm so close.
Order filled.
What season are you on?
5.
How many seasons are
And
there?
it's 7. But there's the prequel series too.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
man, it's so good, dude. I used to be like a huge Game of Thrones hater, in high school, I watched a couple with my buddy, and I never really could get into it. But I don't ever watch with my girl, and then just my buddies all tell me how good it is. It's crazy. It's really good. It's kind of messed up, but it's a
It
really good
is
show.
good. I just think that progressively it gets worse. I mean, I don't want to ruin it
Oh,
for you,
oh
but
yeah, I imagine so. But I mean, from everything that's happened so far, it's freaking crazy.
yeah. I mean, I say for 5 seasons, it's pretty solid. But then, I don't know. I'll let you make your own assessment. I'd love actually to hear your thoughts of it after you've gone through. I
Well, so
reversed
far,
and
I'm having an amazing time.
I took a big loss in that trade because I was being an idiot. But you know what? We'll make it up here. I think on some of this trade here, we're already up. Only
Stop filled. Stop
what?
filled.
Hold on. Yeah. No, it is good. I mean, it's good entertainment. I don't know the new. I don't know. It's just hard for me to. I mean, I'm still watching Peaky Blinders. I'm still into that. I watched Succession. Succession's actually pretty good. That's an HBO show. It's gotten better
That's what
through
that's
season
what I
two.
heard is okay. Because
Yeah.
that's what her mom was telling us to watch Succession.
Yeah.
It's about like the social media, like a whale, right?
No, it's about a rich. It's about a rich family. A family that Just imagine Fox News, and then the family that would own it, like it was family owned by like these rich
Oh,
people. And then it's about basically the patriarch, which is the dude that created, that built the company, is in his later years of life and had some health issues. And then there's one, two, three kids. They're all vying to kind of be the CEO and take over, and to find their place, and where do they fit into this,
Stop filled.
into
Order
the
filled.
company
Stop
that he
filled.
built.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's, you know, I don't. Have you been around really super rich people? Like, I mean, like billionaires. Have you ever been around like billionaires?
A couple of times for we had to do some protection services. And then I've met. I told you that story where my sergeant
Yeah,
had that widowed wife. I
yeah,
went to one of theirs, and yeah, I mean that's like the only rich people I've really been around though.
yeah. So I've I've been around some of these very rich. I mean, I'm talking, a couple hundred million's nothing to these people, right? It's like pocket change. And they just nail a couple of personalities in this show to people that I've met in real life, like just perfectly. I mean, they do extreme it because it's okay. We're in this together, X Dog. I'm in the same boat on the ES. Yeah, I reversed S Elite. Does ES and NQ mirror each other? Sort of, sometimes. Um, sometimes, usually. Because they're the same. The way to look at it is the ES and the NQ are what are called risk on assets. So they're going to mirror each other, although, you have to understand the difference between the ES and the NQ. The NQ is very tech heavy and very what is called
Order filled.
growth stock heavy. Whatever the hell that means. I know what it means, but that's just something to keep in
Order
mind
filled.
when you're trading the ES, is that it's very heavy in that aspect. Sorry, I'm not showing my trades. I'm long again. Long at the top here. We'll see. I'm looking at this area here on NQ, and then we need to look at the NDX actually. Look at that. My prediction zone is coming true. Look at that. It's going into the prediction zone. How did I predict that? That's the Rexdog system. All right, we're going to be shorting probably heavy again up here if it gets into this zone in the mid-range, so around 802. Anything above 802 on the index, we're probably going to, on the NDX, we're probably going to get heavy short into. So in this zone, as we enter this zone, I didn't show this pre-market. I apologize. Yeah, and I think Secession only has 5 seasons, so and I think, I don't know, hopefully they ended well. So that's
Yeah,
palatable.
also,
It's
I
not
hate
like a
shows that
show
end
you're,
shitty.
huh?
I
It's
hate shows that end shitty.
yeah. And then the other thing is then you don't have to commit a lot of time to it. All right. So we're waiting for it to get up here. Just short of 800 is probably where we're going to look.
What's your P&L for today?
My what? Oh, I got
What's
dinged
your
there.
P&L?
I got dinged there. I lost about 18 grand, so I'm down to 20.
Still 20 is a lot.
Yeah, I know, but it's just stupid. I was up 32 and I just aggressively trade, and then I just fell back into my old fading habits a little bit. I wasn't watching the actual index. So S. Sleet asked, I see you favor the NQ over the ES. I've never traded the NQ. I'm curious why. Maybe I should switch. I would suggest looking at it. So here's why I like to trade the NQ over the ES. Number one, the NQ seems to have smoother movements. It also seems to be more volatile, which is better. Volatility, as a trader, you want volatility if you are a trader. Obviously, if you're a long-term trader, you don't want to see volatility. But if you're a day trader, you want volatility. With volatility comes your ability to pull capital from the market because you have a lot of trading opportunities. The other reason why I don't like, better movement, X Vector said, I think it moves better. ES, what it tends to do is it jumps between its price targets. And I think it's because its price targets are so, they're not, look, we're talking about 14,000, we're talking about, 5 digits on the NQ. And then you've only got 4 digits on the ES. And I think that's the reason why it does this kind of what I call spiky behavior, where when it does move, but it jerks, and then it doesn't gap, but it feels like, to me, when I watch it in real time, especially on the 4-chart setup with the combination of time and tick charts, it feels like it is gapping over prices, but it's not. It's just the way it moves. That's why I used to trade the ES, and we could trade the ES. We could be just as successful trading the ES. I like the reliability of how the NQ moves comparatively to the ES. But the system could trade the ES just as effectively. There's no mystery to it. There's no, it follows the system just as well as the NQ does. It's just, I like the way, like X Vector said, better movement. I think that succinctly says what I was trying to say. The NQ has better movement. Bonds are about to hit area here where it might be shortable. We might look at shorting bonds here, but we're going to the close, so I don't know what we're going to do here. But I would look at it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, nothing. I just was fine. Getting old.
Oh, yeah.
Sat down and took a knee.
I've been playing Modern Warfare a little bit more, too.
Since you played with my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't.
That's pretty fun.
I tried to play with his setup a couple times, but he doesn't have all weapons unlocked. Like you said,
Like
he
I told
only
you,
likes.
He's so odd, man. He finds a weapon. He only uses that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, remember when I told you the timefall thing? That is so crazy to me. Because when you prestige, you obviously get. I forget what you get, but I think you get more classes and you can unlock guns permanently. Whatever. Yep. But he stayed the same level. He played the game for 10 years, and he still has not prestige. It's insane to me. But
yeah, I mean that's what happens when you just stick with one setup. Yeah, no, that's why I was like.
And every time I play with him, I have to go unlock all the other ones.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he has other guns unlocked. So, like go in there and unlock them.
Yeah. So that was weird. I mean, it's not. I guess that's just his play style. It's not really weird. It's just.
Yeah, I know.
I mean.
For a long time, he just used like one LMG. The very first LMG that you can use in the game, he just upgraded it all the way in Titanfall. And then I finally showed him a new gun, and he took that gun and used it the rest of the time. And hasn't switched since.
I actually like variety. We're up about $5,000 on this trade. Go ahead.
I like close up. I like the knives or pistols. I like being really close, really aggressive.
Yeah, so the first thing I do in Call of Duty is I always pretty much max out the SMGs. The SAW. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
Sorry.
LMGs.
Yeah, the LMGs. I pretty much max out the LMGs, and then I like they're minus their vehicle play, but their large map modes that they have are better than Battlefield. They're better than this version of Battlefield.
Well, Battlefield 2042 I agree with, but Battlefield, I don't know, Battlefield 5's mechanics are pretty good. Battlefield 4 is the GOAT for like all warfare.
You're right, Arthur. Call of Duty is every company is supporting woke agenda. You know why? Because the underlying financial structure is demanding the ESG framework to be adopted in every entity. So for those that don't know why all these companies are going woke and they're doing this stuff, pretty much the ESG infrastructure and the ESG has captured the financial lubricant of the world and is forcing every single company to have what's called an ESG score. And that's where it's environmental, social, and governance. And part of how you have a high ESG score is you adopt woke agendas because then it ups your ESG score. Because if they don't, then their capital funding is basically turned off. So these woke activists, they've actually captured the financial lubricant of capitalism. Just research it yourself if you don't believe me. This is well documented if you go beyond the mainstream news. I'm not just spouting stuff and I've heard it firsthand from even mid-sized companies. So they first capture the larger companies like the Targets, the Activisions, everything else, and now, they're bringing it down to the mid-sized companies. So,
I mean, look at Bud Light.
Yeah,
Bud
prime
Light tried
example.
to, and now they lost $3 million.
Yeah, but as far as the upper entity, they're fine losing that brand because once again, every company needs access to capital flow. And I'll give it to these I don't even know what to call the people that are trying to do this agenda, but I'll give it to them. They've backdoored the whole economy by capturing the financial capital flow. They've done an awesome job. We're up about $9,000 on this trade here, making back some of the lost profit that I actually did. We're going to reverse.
Where's your entry at?
Order filled.
It was down below, but I reversed. Because we're now, if you look at the index, we're into our zone.
Order filled.
I'd like to get closer to 800 before I start shorting, but we will short. Well, this is our first entry, and then we're looking. I'm getting aggressive again, but I'm not going to get too aggressive like I did before. Yeah, so that's why every company is going woke. It's they don't care about it. I mean, yeah, there's true believers, but it's capital. It's all about access to capital. Because the dirty little secret, if you haven't ran a business, I'm just going to share this, then I'm going to get off this topic because, it could have a potential to divide people that are watching. Every level of company, organization needs capital. Every level. You need access to capital to function. You would think that, except for Apple. Apple has an unseemly amount of cash. They're one of the few entities that actually can operate without capital flow. Every other entity in the world needs capital flow, needs bridge
Order
loans,
filled.
needs loans to get to the next stage, get to the next. I mean, there's multiple levels of loans, and like I said, they've captured that inner layer of funding, and that's what's control, and that's control. That's true power. That's more power than actually what's almost wielded in Washington D.C. Because the Washington D.C. power is long power.
Order filled.
The long game power.
Order filled.
Sorry, I'm fading this move, by the way. I know I'm early again. Let's go up higher.
Order filled.
Man, it's just moving today. Just long. I should have stayed in this trade a little bit longer. Yeah, let's see if it does a sell-off or it just ranges out. The risk that we have here in fading this is that it just ranges out. And CO might be bottoming. Guess I should have bought that. I knew I should have bought that low.
Bottoming where?
Well, bottoming for a good swing trade, meaning that it's going to probably move here. I think the NQ is setting up to sell off tomorrow.
Why did you say that?
Experience. I mean, any
indication or.
Well, I mean, okay.
What, like?
Yeah, let me be very, very specific. If you look at the 4-day level, and you look at the zone it's approaching a failure point, and it's getting pretty far extended from our momentum indicators and our RDA. So it's either going to go to the next zone right around 15,191, or it's going to fail here and fail pretty hard. But then it's going to find support at some lower level. So,
order filled.
This, for instance,
order filled.
Jeez, I didn't get the signal to fade. I shouldn't have faded yet, I guess. So we'll see. We'll stick with it. This is our next zone. I'd like to have my basis a little bit better here. Yeah, I'm fading momentum. I know. I'm trying to time a top like a dumbass. I know what I'm doing. I can recognize what I'm doing. Go ahead.
Even our community always has to tell you not to fade players.
Yeah,
well, I mean you're fading a good move, but
I'm
just cool because they all know not to, or to check you just in case you forget.
No, yeah, I know. No, I'm
It's pretty funny.
I'm doing a stupid trade because I'm fading, and there's no other than it hit my zone that I was predicting that I ignored earlier. Other than it's in the middle of my zone that I predicted, there's no other reason to fade because we've got no counter signal here. There has been no counter signal. So yeah, and if I would have just been a little bit more patient and waited for this first counter signal, which is happening right now, this is the first counter signal. This is where I should have started fading. But this year-long habit of me, just fading early and not being patient is still a little bit tough for me to break. It's kind of amazing that I can have a terrible habit like this, but I can still have great P&L days.
Yeah, I feel that.
Oh, if you just joined us, or you're just, down below, you see a link to Discord. You want to join Discord down below. If you are, let me make sure that link works. Yeah. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. I feel like crap. Oh.
Yeah, I just finished Jedi Survivor yesterday.
Is that a game?
I got to play for yeah. It's like the second game in the series for right after the Empire takes over in movie 3.
Oh, I see.
So it's like the best time to have a game because it's right after the the Empire's hunting down the Jedi and killing them, and Vader hates the world. But it's pretty dope. It was awesome. Very good game. I recommend it.
Yeah, we haven't had. Did the announcement on? Did that change? Because I haven't seen. It's just rare to go 6 days without.
I did change that MeBot says hi to them.
Okay.
Because you know how I was giving like them 2 greetings. I thought that was gonna stop that.
Can we verify it? I just want to verify because I mean that's. I'd like the non-general announcing it. So, all right, there we go. Go ahead.
We just have to go to server insights.
Here's our first profit area if it does continue to sell off, which is right there. That's the chart 2 RDA. And then if it does do a massive sell, or not a massive, it does do a number 1. Here's our next profit zone, which is right here. Right there. That's our next profit zone. Why is that? Chart 3. And then where's our next profit zone? Chart 4. If it, look, I've been aggressively fading it. Our next profit zone would be right here. A little bit lower than that. Up about 7 G's.
Nice.
Yeah. I just, once again, I didn't wait for confirmation and I didn't wait for the first signal. If I would have waited for the first signal, I would be up not 7 G's, I'd be up about 20 G's right now. So just, it goes to show that I'm not properly even fading. I'm going to create a fading section of the training. So it's going to be, and I want to.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So I started outlining it today. I mean, I've had it outlined for a while, but it's got to fit in with the swing trade and the job to trader training that we're doing. So
that one would be cool though. I think a lot of people like that one.
Yeah.
So then maybe they can get their fade cards.
Well, the other reason why I'm doing it, well, it is because of the training. It's also because I become sloppy with my fading, and I need to revisit, and I need to. I'm not following the rules enough with fading, so I need to remind myself to properly fade properly. All right, is it going to hit that? Okay. All right, well, we're going to put in trailing stops, and then there we go. First profit zone is being hit. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, you went a tick. Oh, my gosh.
Order filled. Order
Oh,
filled.
no, did he go tick right above you?
Literally a tick right above me. Literally.
Oh, dude, that's the worst. When you have a perfect scale in and it goes right above you, that's tough. I'm sorry, Unc.
Well, no, I have a terrible trade. I mean, the trade wasn't executed the best, but literally my profit was just, it went two ticks. No, 1 tick. It literally went 1 tick to where my entry was. Like the market knows I'm there. Friggin'
It doesn't know.
No, the market makers, they're watching me. They're connected. Well, I don't have any Alexa or anything like that, but they're connected.
That's all funny. They're making sure you don't make any more profit.
Yeah. I did take 6
Dick.
off though.
Good.
It should hit that profit zone, the first one at least. I think we're going to hit it now.
Is there any day is there like an official trading day where like the market is volatile the whole day?
The market what? Volatile the whole day?
Yeah, is there like a trade? Like a
Um,
trade day where all the traders get together
Order
and trade
filled.
that day?
Filled.
Or
oh
anything
no,
like that?
oh no. But I would
Oh,
say, where you're gonna see some of the most volatile trading is around elections, especially the U.S. election. Is that you'll see the market sometimes swing massively in one day, just because it's the election, especially a presidential election. Even though, just it's that's if you can trade on a presidential election day in the United States, that's some of the best trading you can do, because basically what you're doing is you're just calling the bluff on both sides of the market. And I've had some of my best, not some, I've had good days on presidential election days, because at the heart, I am a fader. And a fader, what a fader does, this is, you're calling the bluff on the market. You're like, oh, you're not going to go up anymore. Oh, you're not going to go down. You're not going to pass this level. And then if you just get good at taking profits quick, you're just banking in profits. You're just, so, that's one of the best days to trade.
Okay.
But, those only happen
That's
once
kind of
every
crazy
4
to think
years.
during elections. That's
Oh.
kind of a weird time.
Well,
Stop
you have to
filled.
think
Stop
about it,
filled.
though. On an average day, an average trading day, there's maybe at the most 3 or 4 news events, and those are financial events. Other than that, what else moves the market? Well, the only other time something moves the market is something unseen, like maybe, if Russia actually uses a tactical nuke, you will see probably one of the biggest moves you've ever seen in the market. Well, you've ever seen, I can guarantee it. If Russia uses a tactical nuke, you will see the market behave in the most unusual that day or 2 days. If Russia, it could be 3 or 5 days. If Russia actually uses a tactical nuke within the war of Ukraine, you're going to see, I'd say, 2 to 5 days of market behavior you've never seen before. And it's something like that. So if you think about it, this is why, many people don't, this is one of the things, and I'll just kind of go off into a little bit of a philosophy mode here for a second. Most people, they look at charts and they try to create a system based on indicators. And you create a chart on indicators and rules and everything else. But most people don't sit down and actually say, okay, I'm going to go out to a coffee shop. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to take a notebook and I'm just going to philosophically think about the market. Just think about the market. Just so that I'm properly, if you're going to prepare yourself for combat, a mixed martial arts fight, or something extreme, you're going to want to visualize what it could be like. What is your opponent going to do? What's the worst case scenario? How does it work? How's it going to work in the ring? You're going to watch tapes of that dude. You're going to understand your enemy. Well, the market's your enemy. So one of the things you want to do is sit down, turn everything off, sit down in maybe a quiet place or go out. I like to get out of my atmosphere, and then sit down and just philosophically think about the market. So if you philosophically think about the market and you think about the average day, well, the average day with a known news event, there's sometimes 3 to 4 known news events. That's a CPI, maybe housing reports, maybe jobless claims. Okay, that's a known news event. The market uses that for indicators on the economy. It's going to move the market. Okay, that's a typical known news a day, a known news event day. On a non-known news event day, what moves the market? Well, obviously the leading news that's going to be coming up the next day or so, the past news, and then also what's happened geopolitically and also within the country that you're trading in. Okay, but then, so philosophically, you've got 2 days that you need to account for, and understanding which one of those days you're in is key. Like today is a prime day. Today, the market's been setting up for the CPI print. That's what it's been doing all day. There's no known news event today. So what is the market moving on? The market is moving on the forward analysis on the CPI event tomorrow morning. So it's setting up to position itself to hit the upside or the downside target it wants to hit, to then go in the direction it wants to go. That's what it's been doing all day. It's been a momentum long day. So,
Stop filled.
I'm getting stopped out of my fade trade, but we're
Stop
making
filled.
decent profit on it. I think I'm going to reverse here. Yeah, I'm going to reverse because it held the RDA. I should have reversed down there.
Order filled.
All right, I reversed. We're going to go long, so we're going long. Okay, so you've got your 2 primary days outlined. And understanding what type of day that is going into it will keep you out of tunnel vision. The next thing is, okay, now you've got what are called black swan events, which are events that like COVID. Can I say COVID? I don't know if I can say that anymore. I know on YouTube, but like the C word, well, there's too many C words. Like the disease, that was a black swan event. If you look at the way the market moved there, black swan event. But what was amazing about that? If you look at the charts back from that time, many of the pullbacks went exactly where the Rex Dog trade system told you they would go, which is utterly amazing when you look at it. The fact that there was this, if you remember the early days of that, no one really knew whether or not it was going to kill everybody or how many people it could kill and what it was going to do.
Order filled.
For us that survived it, obviously, we realized it didn't kill everybody. It didn't have a 50% death rate. Who even knows? I think it's almost, well, we're not going to get into that. So that is a black swan event. So understanding that if you trade long enough, you're going to be a participant most likely in a black swan event. So then it's understanding and look at the market and the geopolitical sphere from what are the risk factors. What are the risk factors as far as what's the geopolitical risk factors that you should take into account with your trading? Well, we know we got a Ukraine war going on, and we know one of 2 things could happen. Either it will be very plainly obvious that Russia will win, or Ukraine will somehow pull through and actually, take back the country or take back a good portion of the country, and then they'll negotiate a peace settlement, or Russia could use a tactical nuke. So those are but you can't plan for that. You just got to be around for that. Obviously, taking the geopolitical aspect and the death aspect of a tactical nuke usage out of the mix. I mean, as far as the human toll, trading wise, if Russia uses a tactical nuke, trading wise, if you're allowed to trade, and this is the other thing, the markets might shut down or they might not allow you to trade the way you want to. But if you are allowed to trade, I can guarantee if Russia uses a tactical nuke, the trading in that 1 to probably 5-day period is going to be volatile. And for people that know how to trade volatility, they will make more money within those couple of days than they make within trading a year long. So when you see a black swan event, it could be major bank failures, continued major bank failures. We've already had major bank failures. But if you're paying any attention to what's happening in the banking sector, I can tell you right now, the banking sector is not out of the woods. The banking sector is in a major rephase, and the banking sector is a major risk factor to the overall economic health of the world. And
Order filled.
so,
Order filled.
you
Order
know,
filled.
an apparent failure on the banking sector is another black swan event. So what I really want to say is, philosophically, you only have 3 days that you need to concern yourself about what you do trading in. You're trading in either a known news day event, meaning that there are known news financial
Order filled. Order filled.
financial events on the calendar.
Order filled.
I'm reversing this trade because it looks like it's going to sell off. And you're trading around those, or there are unknown news events on the calendar, and you're treating that day as it's obviously on an unknown news event day. What is happening is that the market is taking into account the forward news events that are on the calendar and looking to price that
Order
in.
filled.
Okay, that's how
Order
you trade a
filled.
day like today. From a philosophical, fundamental level, as part of your technical analysis. Okay, as part of your technical analysis, how you trade a day like today is there's no known news events on the calendar. So what news events is driving the fundamental traders. The news events driving the fundamental traders is the CPI print tomorrow. Those are your two events. And then you've got a third day. And recognizing when there's a black swan event that hit the market, that'll be really easy. Why? Because you will see a massive increase in volatility and you just believe it. One of the things you can do is go back and look at black swan events in historical charts and see what happened. Go back in the first day of COVID and look at how the charts traded. That is a black swan event. When it was finally realized that there was going to be that America and the West was going to treat the COVID outbreak differently than they have other outbreaks, just look and see how the charts reacted and responded during that time period. And it'll give you a benchmark for other black swan events. Recently, the other thing you can look at is look at the go back in date and look at the official time when it was officially announced that the bank, the two largest banks, the two second largest banks in the history of the United States failed. Go back to look at those dates and look at the charts. Those are mini black swan events. And what you're looking for is patterns. Anyways, any questions? That's me getting on my soapbox, so to say. I reversed.
No
go
questions
ahead.
here.
Yeah.
That was a lot of information, but thank you. It was actually very informal. Or informational.
It was informal too. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Good, though. Did I?
Yeah.
I did. Forgot what it was. Once I was looking at a chart and then
Stop
I
filled. Filled.
I don't remember what it was.
Long into the close. Taking out the high, maybe. Yes. You want to know another black swan event that should be on your calendar? I'm going to say this in the most kindly way possible. We have an utter dumbass for a president. And if that dumbass happens to fall and crack his head open, that is going to be a black swan event for the markets. So if there's two ways that this is going to transpire, and I'm not getting political here. I'm analyzing the geopolitical space. I don't care if you voted for the douche or not, okay? You didn't really vote for him because he's not the one actually in power. But let's just say that you think that you voted for the dude that acts like he's president, but doesn't have a clue that he's president. There's two ways that this could play out geopolitically, okay? Number one, they start hiding him more and more, and it becomes apparent that he factually cannot actually function in public. At some point in time, that pendulum is going to switch, and it's going to be apparent that they can no longer hide it. And then the black swan event is going to hit as far as who's going to have, when there's going to be a crisis as far as leadership within Washington. The other way that this could happen is that the dumbass gets on stage and he just knocks himself out. And then that's going to be very apparent within that first 10 seconds that the dude is not well and that there's going to be a crisis in leadership in Washington, D.C., and a crisis for power. Although the same people behind the scenes are going to still be in power. So that's another black swan event that should be on your antenna, is that you can't look at the dude, and I'm just making an assessment. You can't look at the dude and say that he's well. You can't look at the dude and say that he is highly capable to run the most powerful country in the world. You just can't look at him and make that an honest assessment. So that's the other black swan event that you should be prepared for, which is, and an opportunity, which is The second that you start seeing, then the market's going to tell you, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be one of those two outcomes are going to play out. I mean, he could survive to the election. I just don't see it, but he could survive to the election. If he does, okay, then this is off the table. But the black swan event there is that you're looking for clues, and the market will tell you, because what's going to happen is the market's going to move. And this is the thing. You're going to think, well, the dude's, there's a crisis in leadership and it's going to sell off. No. You don't understand volatility, and you don't understand the market clues. It could go opposite of what you think. And that's why you don't ever make an assessment on these type of events, what the market should do. What you do is you look at the event, okay? And you say, okay, this event happened, and then here's the market reaction to this event. And then you trade the reaction to that first reaction that the market had. Because generally that first reaction is right for a while and then it's wrong. Or it's wrong for a while and then it's right. Okay? So for instance, let's say that the current occupant of the White House, falls over, passes out, bumps his head, and is put in the ER, right? The market rips up, okay? Most people would think it would sell off, right? Because there's a crisis of leadership. Well, the market rips up. What you want to immediately look for is clues for where did the market stop. And then once it has that counter move, once it has its first counter move, then you trade the reaction to that. And then what you're looking for is you're using the Rexdog system, and you're saying, okay, I know what should happen. And then usually it holds up.
Stop filled.
But
Stop filled.
it usually goes much farther than you can imagine. What happens usually in these events is that the market goes much farther than you can imagine. One of the reasons why I'm bringing this up today, too, is because I think that we're due for one of these events here in the next couple weeks. So I think there's going to be a black swan event that might hit the market here in the next couple weeks. And why do I say that? Because it's funny, but it's not, I don't know if funny is the right word. The charts always reveal it. And the charts are getting to some interesting areas where they have to make some serious decisions. Do they want to continue up, or do they want to fail massively? So that leads me to believe that geopolitically, there's going to be a black swan event, and it could be a minor black swan event, but there's going to be a black swan event that is going to hit the markets. Ice cream eater was always a little puppet. What is that? Is that me getting into conspiracy theories or what? Oh yeah, the ice cream. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about, yeah, never mind. I wasn't drawing the connection to what I was talking before. You're right. No, and most of these dudes are. Especially, well, let's not get into that because I don't want to be a target. All right, I think we're going above 15K possibly. We're in it to win it. We're up $9,000 on this trade. Well, the advice on black swan events is always have a protective stop. Also, you can't see them coming. Thus, they're black. They're and that's, I think, Talib's book, I think, coined the phrase black swan. There's got to be the best thing to do is always have a protective stop, and then believe the charts when they do something. But we're getting to the point, if we look at the NQ, the NDX, and we look on a monthly basis, we're getting to a point. This is what I mean. We're getting to a point right here. This is why I know I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist, so I apologize. I don't know why I apologize. I don't really give a crap. But we're getting to a point in the monthly charts where it had a breakdown before, and that breakdown was May 2022. And then, so we're getting to a point on the monthly charts where it's the first test of a breakdown area. And what do we always say? The first test is the best. So I'm expecting when it gets into this zone here that we're going to see some type of minor or major black swan event. That's all I'm I'm just going off what the charts tell me. Okay. Strangely, every time it gets to a zone like this, some kind of minor or major black swan event hits.
Stop field.
I don't know how the markets know this. I don't know how it works out. I don't know how the universe plans this, but it's just the way it works out. So you can believe me or not, you know.
Stop field. Stop field.
But I'm trading it, so Rex, you are the loudest snorer in the world, dude. For a little Shih Tzu like you, you're like the biggest snorer.
He does snore like crazy.
Yeah. Remember when I used to bring him downstairs? Did you hear? Did he snore? I know he did because it had to been dark there, like a cave.
Yeah, I'd be passed out, and he'd be passed out, snoring right on my face.
Stop field. Stop field. Stop field.
Okay, what do we do? Real simple. We wait for an RDA test. We go long again, or we could go long right here, but I'd wait for an RDA test in chart 2. Chart 2, so we don't die, we multiply. What are your thoughts on using, so night with a K on the second night? What are your thoughts on using CFDs as an alternative to trading futures in jurisdictions where they're allowed? Why not? I'm all for CFDs. I mean, look, speculation is speculation. So if you can't trade futures and your only option to trade the futures market is CFDs, why not? That's the way I look at it, which is, it's just CFD is just a derivative. Your money's just going to the casino. That's all it's doing. It's not really
Order field.
going to the market. So CFD is just a derivative of speculation. So as long as you understand risk and you're trading it accordingly, and CFDs are what you can trade, then I'm all for it. I'd trade CFDs. I did, well, let's say that at one point in time it might have been possible to trade crypto CFDs. There's a possibility that maybe I looked at trading it at one point in time. Sneaky bastards. What is that? Oh, is that on the 15K move? Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Crypto.
Do you know
CFDs?
what now, Joe? What?
No, I was saying that's kind of crazy about crypto.
Do you know what
CFDs?
CFDs are?
No.
So CFDs are, I think they're contract for difference. I think that's what they're called. Well, basically, so I think in Pakistan, or I'm not just Pakistan, but in other countries like similar to Pakistan or other countries like that, what they have is they have these things called CFDs. And what they are is, just imagine you're trading the MNQ. Or basically what it does is it allows you to trade the MNQ, but you're not really trading in the market. Jack London, what EMAs, SMAs do you use in the NQ? That's all in my trading and the system. Become an alpha if you want to know. Yeah, so Europe, Germany.
Pakistan, Europe.
So Pakistan, Europe, and Germany. Yeah, Pakistan similar. Yeah, but
That's how funny. Who is this? That guy's funny.
I'm just saying that where I have most experience with it is, or where I've heard most people be able to trade it is within countries of a similar financial structure as Pakistan. But I'm sure but basically what it allows you to do, it's basically just, it's a fake market. Well, you haven't done a lot of research into there are these things called bucket shops back in the turn of the century, 1900s or so. And what bucket shops were, and they popped up all over the United States because the stock market was going crazy. What bucket shops were is, the telegram had just come into place, and bucket shops popped up all over the country, especially in the Midwest, because farmers had nothing. I mean, not farmers, people didn't have much to do during the day, so they'd go, or various times of the day. And these bucket shops, what they did is they gave you the perception you were trading in the market, but they were really just bookies. They really were just gambling shops on the market, where when you go and buy a stock, you actually own you have ownership aspects of that company. When you went to a bucket shop, all you were doing is you were just betting on the price of this railroad stock to go up. You didn't have any ownership rights, and there was no protections as far as you as a buyer that the bucket shop would even pay you if you won as well. So these bucket shops popped up, and they were just pure speculation. That's what CFDs are. They're pure. There's no ownership. You have no legal rights to what you would if you were about to buy a future. If you, like, you don't know this, but when you're trading the MNQ, you actually have some legal rights to what that futures contract gives you. You're just trading it as speculation. I'm talking to you, my nephew, but you're just trading it as speculation, but CFDs are straight speculation. And you're relying on the broker that you're, and it should be more called the bookie. You're relying on the bookie of the CFD to actually pay you, because it's not real money. It's not. They're making money on the fact that 80% of people that trade CFDs fail, and they're just like a bookie. But if in the scenario that the bookie is wrong, well, their out is to go out of business and restart another business. That's their out. So, but yeah, CFDs, I think if it's all that's allowed in your country, ooh, look at that volatility there. We're going to short the next high. The next high, if it gets taken out, we're going to short it. Need to cancel these. I don't know if this is going to sell off here, but it got pretty volatile.
Well, I appreciate the information.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of information. It's all over the map today.
No, it's all good. Good stuff. I'm putting my notes real quick.
That is pretty funny. Similar Pakistan, Europe, Germany.
Stop field.
What do we do? Well, I don't have to do anything, actually. Yeah, I do. I got to
Order filled.
Just light trading. Participation trades, man. Oh, man.
Order filled.
That's what she said. Yeah, the other thing with CFDs, like Arter said, is that you can have 500 times leverage. So the other thing, because they're bookies, they don't give a crap. They don't really have rules. I mean, I know I'm talking down about really they are. They're just a derivative of gambling, CFDs, because or pure speculation, because you have no underlying legal rights to what you're trading. When you're trading a stock, you have underlying legal rights. When you're trading a futures, you have underlying legal rights. Even FX to a degree depends on whether or not they're tier 1 or level. What is it? Tier 1 or tier 2? No, book 1, book 2. Whether or not an FX broker is book 1 or book 2, whether or not you have legal rights. If they're book 2, you have legal rights. If they're wait, do I have that backwards? One of the books, I don't know. One of the books in Forex, you're actually transacting with the real market. Another book with the FX, and I can't remember which one it is, you're just transacting with them. And I know I'm getting into the weeds here, but for nerds that love this stuff, then you'll appreciate this stuff. But I have no idea. I've never heard of OCTFX. Never heard of them. So yeah, I'm going to have to look this up. Level 1 or level 2 brokers. Basically, there's...
Stop field.
Understand, if you're trading Forex, understanding your Forex broker and whether or not... Let me get this right. Damn it, Jim. I need to get this right. Is it book 1, book 2, book 1 Forex broker? It's not book. Oh, A book. Duh. Okay. Sorry. I apologize. I got it wrong. So I know most people don't give a crap about this. Okay. But you're about to get some knowledge. So we're going to talk about
Good for you.
FX brokers here. Okay. So an FX broker, there's two type of brokers in the FX world. Okay. They're the extremely shitty ones, which are let me see. I want to make sure I get this right because it's been a while since I looked at this. Okay. So the difference between the two brokers is there's a B book broker and then there's a book broker. Okay. Now, as you can see here, they have the option to fill trades internally on the B book model. So you want to generally transact with an A book broker because an A book broker is passing those orders through to the real market. Okay, I don't want to see your dumbass pop up. A B book broker on the Forex market, what a B book broker is allowed to do is be the market maker. And basically, they don't have to send your order to the market. They can fill it internally and they can make the spread. So a B book broker, most of the B book brokers that people have, most of the Forex brokers that have challenges are B book brokers. These are the brokers that can internally choose not to order their orders to the market, because what they can do is they can artificially fill trades. They can artificially make spreads. And so when you look at Forex brokers specifically, that's the way to look at them, is that you generally want to be with an A broker, because then your trades are actually, no, I'm American. America, Team America. That's me. I'm not Canadian. Great. Thank you. Great. Yeah, so for anybody that's trading Forex, just simply search A broker and B broker Forex and get knowledge about it. And then understand that if you're on a B broker, you're maybe not transacting with the real market. And then understanding the risk involved if you're not transacting with the real market. What does that mean? That means they're basically a bookie. I don't know how many bookies you've met in your life, but I haven't met any bookies that are really that trustworthy. I'm not saying I've met any bookies. I'm just saying, and I don't gamble. So I'm just saying that, the ones that I've seen on TV don't seem that trustworthy. More knowledge. I did say at the beginning of the day I was going to get more philosophical today. So.
No, I appreciate it. It's all good knowledge around here.
Yeah.
That just helps you look further. Good thing.
And generally when you're trading futures, you don't have to, if you're in the US, for instance, you don't need to worry about, as long as they're regulated, you don't really need to, you do have to concern yourself about the liquidity and the reputation of that broker. But generally, a futures broker, if they're licensed, then they have the risk parameters and risk controls where, of course, through malfeasance, anything can happen.
Order filled.
But generally, they have, you're, in air quotes, protected. Much better than you're not even protected in a CFD. You're not, and this is my opinion, so I'm not giving legal advice. I'm not an attorney. In fact, I'm probably clinically insane, and you shouldn't listen to anything I say. If I was trading Forex, I would definitely make sure that my broker is a broker, and wasn't messing around with my orders. If I seriously cared about keeping my capital safe. If you're trading with capital that you're willing to lose, hey. But if you're trading with any serious amount of capital, then you really need to be cognizant of your brokers. So this is kind of my trading day. I'm not too happy with, because I had one bad trade that actually that destroyed my P&L more than it should have. I'm still up 26,000 for the day, which is not bad, but look at my losing trades, 33. That's because I took a series of look at these, see these bad trades? Terrible trading. Don't do that. Only do that if you're related to the president and you leave your laptop with certain people. Then you can trade like that. Look at this. Look at that market, man. It's just long. So how do we trade the overnight? Let's talk about that. How do you trade the overnight? Let's go to our testy. We have settlement here. See that big red line? We're going into settlement. The overnight session, what's your driving controls? Your driving controls are the previous day price action, the forward known news events. What are the forward known news events? Well, tomorrow, what do we have on deck? We've already been talking about this. We have the CPI print at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, it's just a bunch of bill announcements and a bunch of other. The other thing that does happen is the FOMC meeting begins tomorrow. So you would expect high volatility. What's the other thing that's on deck? Oh, look at this trade. It's still working out. We're gonna short it here though. Bam.
Order filled.
So we're gonna short it into the close. It just closed, but we're getting a little aggressive with our trades. Maybe we can make another couple grand here.
Order filled.
All right, with sound effects. The other thing that you should be looking at on Wednesday, we have the Fed chair press conference, and we have the petroleum status report, which is going to be full of actually it's going to be obscured of what's really happening. So I don't know if I would believe anything that comes out of that report. But the Fed chair conference report, typically at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, does have high volatility. So we have two high volatility events. So how do you trade the overnight? Real simple. Nothing is really going to happen until there's some kind of understanding on what possibly is going to happen on the CPI early in the morning. So what your driving controls are, we know our forward known news, and then you use one chart as your control on your trades. That most likely is going to be chart 4, but you want to take chart 3 into account. The other thing that's going to drive your overnight session is the opening range of the futures. So you want to use that level. And then when I say previous day price action, that means you're looking at the opening range as well. And then the other thing is you want to check the 3 balance, which is the 2100 pivot. These are all market times. So generally the market will pivot around 2100. So you want to look for that pivot. And then we have our liquidity opens, which is the London Open and the Asian Open. And then we go back to the top where we look for the snapback trade. Snapback trade might not present itself overnight.
Order filled.
But 3 hours before the market opens, if you are up and you're available, you want to start looking for potentially the snapback trade. So that's how to trade the overnight session. All that clear? Did I go too fast for anybody? We're aggressively shorting this market, looking to see if we can make an extra 2 to 5 grand here. Might not occur. We might have to take a loss. Aggressive scalping.
I'm about to hop off here, work out, eat something.
All right, sweet man.
But
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Nice job trading.
Yeah. Are you gonna will you just update everybody on kind of what your streaming plan is for this week, and then also for when I'm gone? Just something you'll kind of commit to, just so everybody can kind of have an expectation. So just plan it out a little bit, and then that way we can make sure we're, sound good?
Yeah, no, sounds good.
Okay.
I'll probably try to do like either every day or every other day when you're gone. Or at least once a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And then every other day before you leave or something like that. I'll figure it out and then I'll send out a chat.
Yeah, just make sure it's something you can commit to and make sense. So.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Well, we'll connect later then.
All right, sweet man. Talk later.
All right, see you later on.
See ya.
See you guys. Peace.
haven't even checked the news today. I don't even know if the world has blown up today. I will jump off here in a second. If there's any questions before we go, I'll definitely answer them. Other than that, the next best thing you can probably do is follow on Discord. Join Discord down below. Also, if you are ready to get started, just send me go to the website. Click the link that says get started now, or on Discord, just send me a DM and say, how do I get started with the Rexdog system? This fade trade might not be working out in our favor. Let's see. We got about 4 more minutes before we make the decision. Yeah, I wasn't going to stream today, but, you know, I don't want to... That's the word I'm looking for. I'm trying to just forget about the fact that I'm on chemo treatment, which doesn't help with the title, obviously, but no. And just power through. Not really power through, just... I feel better trading and doing stuff than I do sitting down just watching TV. Or just laying around. I'd rather be active doing things than letting this terrible sickness that I feel right now, which is pretty annoying, kind of take over my mind. There we go. Look at that. I told you we're gonna make another $2,000, possibly. It might not work out. Speaking a little early, let's put some trailing stops in the market. How do we divide 18 up? I guess we could divide it by 3s and really divvy it up. If it holds this momentum, then we, we're on the wrong side of this trade. But let's put some trailing stops in there. We'll put them relatively close.
Stop filled.
There we go. Yeah, we got knocked out. Now it's 9 more. 3, 6, 9. Damn, look at that. I think we're going to make another $2,000 on this trade. Possibly. No, it's not. It's not going to give it to us. Well, maybe it is. We'll see. No, it's not. It's being stubborn, man. Come on. Sell off, dude. You can do it. You got the strength. No, thanks for everybody that joined the stream. I do appreciate you. Look at that. We're going to make another. I'll share my ending P&L for the day here. Not bad for a dude that's getting chemo treatment, huh? And I would ask everybody if a dude with, and I know I have more experience and I created the system and everything else. I get it. But come on, man. If a dude on chemo can functionally trade the markets, then you need to work through your own psychological issues to be able to trade the markets, because the only reason why you're not successfully trading, there's 2 reasons. You don't have one of the best you're either not trading with one of the best trade systems on the planet, and the other reason is that you haven't psychologically figured out how to trade the markets. That's all you need to do. You need to create a system that has edge, or adopt a system that has edge, and then deal with your messed up psychological issues that makes it so you can't properly trade the market. Trading's that simple. It doesn't get any more difficult than that. Now, is that easy to say but hard to implement? Absolutely. But it is really simple. Any thoughts on CL before you leave? Yeah, I think if it holds, and I'm gonna, when after settlement comes, I'm gonna look to trade around 6. I'm gonna be buying pullbacks most likely overnight. So if I'm around overnight, I'm gonna be buying pullbacks. Look at that. We're making another $3,000 on the trade. Sweet. On the day. Almost to the point where we need to get out of the market. I always get out of the market around 15:08 market, or 14:08 market time. Just good practice. So you'll see me exit and go flat here. I could hold it, I guess. But why? All right.
Order filled.
There we go. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's see if we improve. Well, I know we improved our P&L. We were at 26,000. Now we went up to 29,000. Look at that, man. 29,259. We're balling out of control. Bam. That's the ending P&L for the day. 29,000. 259. Some ugly trading in there. You can see a big loss there at 23 grand. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That 23 grand last. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's painful. Thanks, BG. You're really amazing. I really enjoy your streams, and the only reason I stay by PC this late. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm not causing you to miss other things in life, but I do appreciate it. Okay, I might stream tomorrow. Depends how I feel. It all depends. You know, one of the things on treatment is that I get pumped full of steroids, and it keeps me up sometimes to 2 to 4 in the morning. So if I'm up to 4 in the morning, I might not stream till the afternoon if I even stream at all. It all depends on how I feel. But not a bad trading day. 29,259 is my official end of P&L for the day. We're out of all trades. We're flat for the day. And if I will be around calling if you join Discord if you want to see the trades that I'll be trading overnight. So that's what I'll say about that. Everybody, I appreciate you here. Appreciate you spending time here. Appreciate all the questions you answer or asked. And we're going to go out like we typically go out on these things with one of my favorite quotes from Black Dynamite.
I threw that shit before I walked in the room.